Hello, welcome to the first ever virtual Show of Champions brought to you by the Johnny Appleseed District Association of Quartet Champions. My name is Mark Blake and I am the lead singer for yesteryear, the 1993 Johnny Appleseed District Quartet Champs and the 1997 International Quartet Champions. We are glad that you're watching our show today. Over the next couple of hours you're going to see a parade of Johnny Appleseed District Quartet Champions. And we are looking forward to not only the performances, but we've taken some time to do some interviews. Hopefully that you'll enjoy hearing some stories and about the history of these great champions. Our show today is going to include a couple of special guests, actually many special guests, but two of those are the 2020 International Seniors Quartet Champions Hearsay. We're glad they're here with us today. And our featured performer today are the 2015 JAD Quartet Champions and the current third place international bronze medalist Quorum. We're happy that they're here with us as well, sharing a little bit more on the show of what they're doing, and we look forward to that. So we would like to take just a moment as we get going. If we were in person, which is always our plan, you'd see this wonderful parade of quartets. And the format for that show over the years has really emerged from our brother in song, Mr. Mike Sisk. So we want to say thank you to him and the legacy that he has left us in building these shows together. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our parade of champions.
I used to love you, but it's all over. All over now. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone, though our friendship ceases from now on. And if you can say anything real nice, just don't talk at all, that's my advice, You go your way, I'll go mine, it's best that we do. Oh honey, here's a kiss, I hope that this brings lots of love to you. It makes no difference how I carry on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone, though our friendship ceases from now on. If you can't say anything that's really nice, then you better not talk at all, that's my advice, Now you go your way, I'll go mine, it's much better that we do. Here I hope that this brings lots of joy and love to you. It makes no difference where I go or how I carry on. Please don't talk about me, 'cause you're better off without me, honey. Don't spread any gossip when I'm gone.
Welcome to Trademark, our 2019 District Champions. And I want you guys to go ahead and introduce yourselves and where you're living now and what's going on.
All right, I'm Matt Cook. I sing tenor with Trademark.
I'm Brandon Miller, sing baritone.
I'm Chris Gregory, I sing bass.
And I'm Keith Parker, I sing lead.
When did you guys come up with the name of Trademark? And how did you come up with it?
We really like the idea of having like a one-word name. We just like the impact of having like just like a one word. And we looked and we just kept talking about like wanting to be more of a brand than a name. And so we were looking at names like Limited, and then we thought about the name Signature, but that was already taken. And so, and then we eventually landed on the word Trademark. And that's totally us. We feel like we have our own brand our own style. We sound very much like ourselves. If you hear us once, you'll know what we sound like.
Experiences where, you know, just kind of a unique, fun thing happened to the quartet?
I know one thing happened at fall when we won. We were in the queue getting ready. We were in the warm-up room, and we got skipped over. So they let the quartet that was after us go in our place, and then.
Did that happen?
Yeah, they moved us to a different warm-up room. Like they deviated from the schedule somehow because somebody left early or something, or someone was late.
Yeah.
So they put us in a different room. The one thing we are actually able to do, we're participating in Barbershop Royale, which is an online hosted TV game show.
Reality show.
It's like a reality show
Craziness.
that a quartet in the Northeastern District is hosting. And they've got 10 quartets, 9 or 10 quartets that are competing in silly challenges or musical challenges, doing it all remotely. And they have one guy who's editing all the video and putting it out there. So the first episode aired yesterday. And we're hoping to get some of that footage done this weekend while we're here, just filming for the next episode. So we film it all on our own and send the stuff in, and we're competing against other quartets from all over the world. And it's just a fun way to just kind of have some barbershop competition during all of this pandemic stuff. It's just something to do, and we can do it from wherever we are.
Listen up, to understand the thing my body demands. Oh man, it's such a fine cuisine, so let me tell you what I mean. I'll tell you what I need. Oh yeah. I don't want French fried potatoes, red ripe tomatoes. I'm never satisfied. I want the frim fram sauce with the Austin Fay, with shafafa on the side. I don't want pork chops and bacon. That won't awaken my appetite inside. I want the frim fram sauce with the Austin Fay, with shafafa on the side. Now fellas really got to eat, and a fella should eat right. Five will get you 10, oh man. I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. I don't want fish cakes and rye bread. You heard what I said. Waiter, please serve mine fried. I want the frim fram sauce with the Austin Fay, with some shafafa on the side. So listen, how you gotta understand what a tasty thing my body demands. Oh man, what a succulent cuisine. I'll tell you what I mean. I'm gonna take a bite when I get me some tonight. Oh, fellas really got to eat, and a fella really needs to eat right. I need it right, you know that 5 will get you 10. What a win. I'm gonna treat myself right, feed myself right, treat myself right tonight. I don't want fish cakes and rye bread. You heard what I said. Waiter, come on and serve mine fried. Oh yeah. Man, I want the frim fram sauce with the Austin Fay, with shafafa sitting there on the side. I want the frim fram sauce with the Austin Fay, with shafafa on the side. Oh man, I want the frim fram sauce all day, with shafafa on the side every day. I want the frim fram sauce all day and all night. I need it bad, so bad, that's all I want. understand.
Baby, oh, give me that frim sauce. I demand.
Today, we are meeting with the bass of the 1955 Lima Uncalled Four. Well, why don't you introduce the guys in the quartet?
Okay, looking at the picture on the left-hand side, and incidentally, these are Kelly green suits with sap lapels.
Yeah.
That's Ron Williams, the tenor, red-headed tenor, Welshman, sings very well. Of course, I'm standing in the back. And on the right-hand side is Cliff Willis. He was our lead singer and a disc jockey at the radio station here in Lima. And down in front is Moony Willis. That is Cliff's father. He sang baritone.
You joined the quartet in 54?
1954, summer of 54. And when we registered with them, they wrote us a note. I said, you can't have that name because there's another quartet by that name in Minnesota. So you have to change your name. So we added the name Lima on the beginning of it. So then we were the Lima Uncalled Four. That's how we went into contest in 1950.
Do you have a favorite show that you did on with one of those shows?
Well, it would have been probably, I did several, but I would say maybe the one in Derry, New Hampshire. We sang on the show with the Buffalo Bills. And at that time, they were in rehearsal for the Broadway show Music Man, so they could only sing on the first half of the show. So we preceded them to sing 2 songs before they sang on the first half of the show. And our second song of our 2-song set was Mighty Like a Rose, which is one of our signature songs with a tenor solo. Ron, our tenor, was an excellent singer. And we got a standing ovation. Left the stage, went to the dressing room to rest, get ready for the second half. And when we went to get out of the dressing room, we couldn't get the door open. We could not figure out why we couldn't get the door open. We pushed and shoved and everything. We banged hard enough on the door that finally one of the chapter members came and left us out. And he told us that Scotty Ward, the baritone of the quartet, had piled the chairs in front of our door and told them that any quartet that would get a standing ovation over the Buffalo Bills don't deserve to be on the second half. So we sang on the second half anyway and got another standing ovation. That was fun.
Oh, that's really cool.
1955 from Lima, Ohio. Uncalled Four.
Across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonnie bride. The roses all have left your cheek. Tears beam your loving eyes.
fields are fresh and green. I will take you to your home, Kathleen, Kathleen. Oh, I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain, no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I will take you to your home, Kathleen, your home, Kathleen. And when the fields are fresh and green, I will take you to your home, Kathleen, your home, Kathleen.
Welcome, everyone. This is Troy Caper, and I'm with the 1995 Johnny Appleseed District Quartet Champions, Rumors. And who we have on with us right now is we got Bob Moorhead, who was singing tenor, Marco Krager, who was singing lead, Tom Rouse, singing baritone, Steve Sisk, who was the bass. So, hey, welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
How did you come up with the routine? I mean, the routine everybody knows you guys for is the jail set. Was it kind of always your theme?
Well, when we were, if I remember right, when we were talking about what to do for contests, Bob brought up the fact that Last National Prank did a set with convict uniforms, and it all kind of started with that. And then we had Tom Gentry do a few arrangements for us, parodizing a number of songs with prison-type lyrics in it, and that's pretty much how we got started. It basically was Bob's idea from an old Last National Prank thing.
So who would you consider to be the alpha dog in this group? Who was the alpha?
Well, I think you have to go to two or three different, maybe even four different names to answer that question. From a musical standpoint, I think it was Bob. From a just an overall standpoint, it was probably Marco. And for just the mean guy, it was probably me.
I could second that.
In your show, you started with the talking introduction.
Interesting thing about that, a good story. How about that? I can't remember what show it was, but we came from the back of the audience and we're crawling down the aisles while they were playing the intro. And I'm crawling down the one aisle, and there's this probably 80-year-old lady that her purse was kind of sitting next to her chair, and I just started reaching for her purse and slowly moving it away. She saw something was going on with her purse, turned around and clocked me in the eye.
Apron strings seem childish things when you've gone astray, till there comes that weary time when you begin to say, oh, turn the world around so I'll be bound for those rockabye days, those days where memory strays down rockabye ways. Just make me yesterday bound, let me play round that old cabin door, that door. Heap childhood blessings upon me, give me that Swanee shore. Oh, Swanee, you were black sheep is blue. Oh, Mammy, I'm pleading with you, just sing those lullabies that close the eyes of your rockabye baby. Bring back those rockabye baby days. Won't you rockabye your baby with a Dixie melody? When you croon, croon not to. From the heart of Dixie, oh, I miss you, Swanee. Your black sheep is blue, so blue. Oh, I love you, Mammy. I'm pleading with you, just sing those lullabies that close the eyes of your rockabye baby. Bring back those days when you sang rockabye baby. Bring back those rockabye baby days.
There's the 1975 Johnny Appleseed District Quartet Champions. You see Larry in the back on the left.
Yes,
Dick
and
Hurl on the,
this is the ones we're actually honoring today.
That's
is
it.
the 75 champions here. So they were only together, you said, for less than a year when they won?
No, they had been together. They got together, the beginning of 75, the end of 74, beginning of 75, and then they won later in the fall. Of course, in the summer, they were 32nd place quarterfinalists, so they didn't do that well. But the following year in San Francisco, in 76 in the Cow Palace, they were 20th. So they made the top 20 and they made the semifinals, which was a thrill for me to see my dad finally out of the quarterfinals and get into the semifinals. And Larry Homan from the Pittsburgh North Hills chapter, talented arranger, had been around in barbershopping for since the 50s, 60s, directed Sweet Adelines, done arrangement coaching. He filled in, and unfortunately, they did qualify to go to international, but they kind of plummeted and went backwards and were quarterfinalists again, and actually plummeting to about 43rd, but this happens. And so he had gone on to sing with them through the end of 77. He said he was going to be done at the end of 77. And when that time came, when the end of the year came, I guess I had bugged my dad so many times to sing with them, and it usually did sound pretty good. I got a phone call from Dick and Dick Hurl, and he told me to show up at rehearsal on Tuesday night. Okay. I got the phone call. I got on the phone, and it was Dick Hurl, and he said, "You're the new baritone of the Roadshow. Be at the rehearsal Tuesday night." It was cool, though. I was like, all right. So we went into the prelims, and unfortunately, it was pretty close. It was close. I mean, we finished 6th, right behind Foreign Legion, were the alternates, and 5th with Drayton Justice singing lead. And that was the year the Expression Marks with their hobo set. You might recall, Doug.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When they qualified.
1975 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Roadshow.
Years now have passed since I first met you. My first love was the last. You've been ever true. And somehow, something now through
back when you were 10, I was 11 or so. I said that I was your beau, and that made you happy, I know. Yes, I know. Then again, later when you were sweet 16, charming Cinderella, I was still your fella. You were still my queen. My dearie. Then there came a day when I heard you say you were mine alone, dear. In a little while, down a little aisle, then you were my own, dear. Those good old days are gone. They passed on, never to return again. I hope you'll never forget to remember way back when. Remember then there came a day when I heard you say you were mine alone, dear. In a little while, down a little aisle, then you were my own, dear. Those good old days, they passed on, never to return again. I hope you'll never forget to remember way back when I was just 11 and you were only 10. We fell in love and we've always been happy together since the days of way back when. Way back when.
Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing the 1965 Johnny Appleseed District Champs, the Roaring Twenties. And on the call with me here is Don Gray and Mike Conley.
We were called the Kids at first. By the guys in the chapter, we were called the Kids. By the people at school, we were called the Quartet. And ultimately, we took the name the Four Chord Lords. And we were registered by that name for a couple of years. And then we had a quartet called the Gay 90s, a terrific comedy quartet from Montevideo, Wisconsin, on our chapter show. And Ed Weber, being our coach at the time, said, well, if there's a quartet that's called the Gay 90s, there should be one called the Roaring 20s. And at that point, we had all just turned 20 years old. So we figured that would be a name that would last us for 10 years anyway.
Did, and I'm sitting there comfortably in the baritone section, which is where I started, and Ron Riegler comes over to me and says, can you sing tenor? I said, I don't know. I've never tried to sing tenor. Here, sing this. And he handed me a copy of my Ideal, as I recall. So I sang through it with the quartet, and he said, okay, that's it. He's out, you're in. I said, what? What do you mean? He said, yup, you're the new tenor of the Roaring Twenties. And I said, can you do that? And he said, I just did.
What was your favorite show that you did? Don,
what was the one in either California where we did it with the Reedy Wright? You can expand on that, or the one we did in Anacortes, Washington. You can expand on that one.
Both of them were terrific. The one in California, that was the first time that the 20s had sung in California, and it was 1 week after Joe Connolly was born. Do you remember the TV program? It was called You Asked For It, and Art Baker was the host of that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Art Baker was a member of the Pasadena chapter, and he was the MC of that show. We were on there with, eventually we became 4 different international champs. The Suntones were already champions, the Golden Staters, one was the Western Continentals. So we were on a show with like 4 other quartets that became champions ultimately. And then the other one Don mentioned was up at Anacortes, Washington.
The night before, they would dig this huge hole in the sand, fill it up with seaweed and all that kind of stuff. Put all the fish in there, and then they would set fire to it somehow and watched it overnight, so that next afternoon and evening the fish was done, and we were digging it right out of the beach, and it was really something else.
1965 from Western Hills, Cincinnati, Ohio. Roaring 20s.
Why does Maggie bring her relatives along? Why can't Maggie come along? Come along. When we go out, no matter where we're bound, there is always somebody around. She brings her father, her mother, her sister, and her brother. Oh, I never see Maggie alone. She brings her uncles and cousins. She's got 'em by the dozens. I never see Maggie alone. And when I phone her, say to her sweet, where shall we meet? Supposing we eat. She brings her father, her mother, her sister, and her brother. Oh, I never see Maggie alone. Maggie dear just won't go out alone. She says that she must have a chaperone. When we go out, no matter where we're bound, there is always somebody around. She brings her father, her mother, her sister, and her brother. Oh, I never see Maggie alone. One night while we were up walking and we got tired of talking, she invited me up to her home. I turned the lights down, they were too bright. Oh, what a night. When I turned on the light, there was her father, her mother, her sister, and her brother. Oh, I never see Maggie alone. Bought a roaster to seat it, I even had it heated so that I could see Maggie alone. While we were riding and kissing, the engine started missing. We were a long way from home. I got right out there, fast as I could, to see what was wrong. When I opened the hood, there was her father, her mother, her sister, and her brother. Oh, I never see Maggie alone. Alone, I never see Maggie alone.
Hi, today I'm meeting with the lead, Ron Morrison, of the 1960 Johnny Appleseed District Champions Forget-Me-Notes. Hi, Ron. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks, Doug.
How did the quartet come into existence?
We were all chapter members, and I had sung around with I hadn't been in the chapter very long. I joined in 58 after the chapter had finished third, I believe, in International in Columbus. And a next door neighbor introduced me. I was a voice major in college. I did a lot of singing. I had never sung barbershop. I was hooked. And I was singing tenor in the chorus, and Bob Durst, another tenor, Klein Clary, a baritone, and George Corr, a baritone. We decided we would sing barbershop and sing in a quartet. We could pitch everything up just a shade, and it would ring like you wouldn't believe. And we couldn't believe the sound. I mean, we got together, sang a couple of chorus numbers, and we were hooked.
How did you come up with the name of Forget-Me-Notes?
Our baritone's wife, who was a professional seamstress, and she was messing around with a little applique or design with 4 little blossoms on it. She called them Forget-Me-Not. And they were pretty blue, and she thought it just looked nice, and we had them embroidered or appliqued on our uniforms, and it just stuck. You know, we were the Forget-Me-Notes instead of Knots. Originally, we had to say that we were the Buckeye Forget-Me-Notes, because there was another quartet someplace registered, but eventually we were able to change our name to just Forget-Me-Nots. But I looked at the plaque the other day and it says Buckeye Forget-Me-Nots. The first contest we entered was in Toledo, and it was, the finals was at the Peristyle in Toledo, which was an auditorium that they claimed that you could drop a pin on the stage and hear it in the last seat in the house.
Wow.
And it was a fantastic place to sing. We were lucky enough to finish 11th, only because we only knew 3 songs. So if we'd have gotten the top 10, we couldn't have sung anyway. We'd have had to do a chorus number. That was quite a thing. And that was where we met the guy who either wrote or arranged Maggie. And I can remember being in a hotel room and singing to him, and he was just grinning all over. He was an older man. I can't remember who it was, and I don't have the sheet music anymore, but that was quite an experience.
Well, you jumped with the Forget-Me-Nots. You guys jumped from 11th to first place. I mean, the quartets that finished in the top 5 the year before had no idea you were going to jump.
That's right. And the thing is, and this is a little, what's a secret, but it's a 60-year-old secret, the scores, the morning scores were out before the night.
Oh, really?
Every quartet knew that we were number 1.
Wow.
So I'm sure they just sang their hearts out.
Yeah.
Nobody had ever heard of that. You know, somehow the scores got out.
Wow.
I remember one year, and Ruth and I were reminiscing, one Christmas, not counting the winter show that Buckeye did, and other things, we sang 27 jobs.
Wow.
In 1 month. I mean, we were going from one banquet to another, maybe 2 or 3 in a night.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Did you have any favorite performances that you did?
You know, there was one performance, and I remember it. We went to Cincinnati to sing, and I want to say it was the Ohio Music Teachers Convention or something like that. And there were 2 performers on the program, the Forget-Me-Nots and Van Cliburn.
Wow.
And, you know, I think they did it for contrast. That was a fantastic show to sing. It really was.
How did you come together? What was the start of Park Avenue? How did you become a quartet?
Really, it started with Dynamics. Dynamics was a district champion, and when Dave Wallace had to leave and Bill Hoffman had to leave, why, we didn't want to quit singing. And 2 people left, and so we started looking for 2 other guys that wanted to continue making music. And so basically, Park Avenue was formed.
Somewhere about in the middle, we decided, hey, maybe we need to kind of try to reinvent ourselves a little bit. So we got into the whole golf theme. So I remember that we did that a couple of years in contests. So we had to put together an entire golf-centric, golf-related show package. We had the knickers and everything. And hopefully, we were hoping we'd get some gigs at the Muirfield, you know, so forth. But, you know, for some reason, that never panned out. One year, we went down to go sing at a show down in Georgetown. Dave Wallace was down there. And so I think it was after the show, we were trying to find the afterglow. So we're kind of running down one of these back roads, and we thought we missed the turn. We think we missed the turn. Okay, well, this looks like some gravel over here. So Gary was going to turn around in this van, and it wasn't a driveway. It was actually this guy's yard, and we pulled in there. It had been raining, and this thing immediately sunk down to the axle in the mud. So, and the rest of rest of the evening was trying to get the thing out of the mud, and finally someone came from the Afterglow and picked us up. We just left it. Went back the next morning and see if we could get the van out of it.
Pulled it out with a truck.
Pulled it out with a truck.
Luckily, the farmer was not home. And so we pulled the truck out the next morning, and then Dave Wallace grabbed a bunch of his buddies down there, and they tried to fill in all the damage that was done because we left big holes in this guy's yard.
Right. Do you remember what 4 songs you sang?
We were having trouble remembering, but I got out the old tape and we opened with the Wedding Bells, which was a David Wright arrangement. We couldn't handle the tag, so we had that rewritten. David wouldn't rewrite it, so we had Tom Gentry do it for us. And it was a good thing that was the first round, because our second round wasn't quite as strong, but it was strong enough, I guess, because we did Baby Mine. What is the name of that?
Nobody Till Somebody Loves You.
Yeah, and You Make Me Feel So Young.
You Make Me Feel So Young.
Baby mine, just listen to me, 'cause here is my philosophy. You're nobody till somebody loves you, someone loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares, no one till someone cares. You may be king, you may possess the world, and in all of its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world still is the same, you'll never change it, won't change it, as sure as the stars shine above, shine above. Nobody till somebody loves you, so find yourself somebody to love, find somebody to love. The world still is the same, you'll never change it, you're never gonna change it, as sure as all the stars shine above, the stars above. Nobody till somebody loves, till someone loves you, so find yourself somebody, find yourself somebody to love, find yourself somebody to love, someone to love, find yourself somebody to love.
The 1990s were mountaintop years for the Johnny Appleseed District. We had a string of great champs from the district who went on and did great things at the international level. Our 1990 JAD champs are also celebrating the 30th anniversary of their championship here in the district. And don't forget, they were also our 1994 International Quartet Champions. So we hope you enjoy Steve Iannacioni, Mark Green, Steve Letkers, and Dave Kinninger. These are our champs, Joker's Wild.
Valiant Buckeye Columbus Chapter's Joker's Wild!
There's a guy in our town known for fooling around with every little girl in town. He'd flirt and he'd flirt and he'd give them the eye whenever they'd pass him by. Then when he'd kiss them, whoa, how they'd sigh. Johnny, I love you. And then he would cry. Well, I'm a fancy
fancy, footloose kind of guy with a little bit of fun in me. If you're starting to pout, I'm gonna shout, I gotta be on my way. Please don't tell me I love you and that you'll be forever true. I know what that means and it always seems I gotta be on my way. Romeo, you surely know, was never known to be the kind of guy who'd waste his charms in just one girlie's arms. Hey now, say now, pretty miss, I think I'd like another hug and kiss. Better not stall, 'cause I'm starting to fall. Gotta be on my way today, gotta be on my way.
And I was asking Dave to remind us who all was in the Akromatics back there. Tell us, Dave.
That would have been Tom Hine and Lefty Parison and Gene Nichols and myself.
Nice group of guys, all Akronites, and that was the chapter I started in some 65 or 70 years ago. My gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So how did the Akromatics get started?
Well, I just got done looking that up. It was roughly in 1969 at the Lakewood Corn Roast.
My only recollection about my dad sharing a judging story. So Dave, you might be able to remember how true this is, or if I'm misremembering it. When you guys competed to qualify for international and missed it by just a couple points, and there was a time penalty. Is that right?
It rings a bell.
I think I remember that, and I remember my mom saying my dad stood in a corner and sang through the contest songs again and timed it because he didn't believe it.
That's awesome.
What were some of the best places that the Akromatics went or traveled to in your time together?
We didn't make it to Europe. That was supposed to be funny, but
Hey, delayed laughter.
I'll hold up a flag when it's time to laugh.
All right.
Middle Bass.
Oh yeah.
What a great place to sing and socialize and have fellowship. Great place.
And get drunk. Some of us
Now-
are more accomplished than others.
Well, if you want to be good at something, you got to practice.
Dave, when you guys, so you went to Middle Bass, was that winery open back then when you were there? Did you perform there? And you performed there?
Both wineries were open. Lonz, L-O-N-Z, and Brett's.
Yep. At Middle Bass last year, Boardwalk was able to do a performance in the basement of the winery to about 100 people, which was really cool. It's still not open, really. They just have events there. But, you know, the stone building is still there, and all the cellars are still there. So that's kind of cool to know that you guys sang there. Very neat.
Yeah.
And got drunk.
1970 from Akron, Ohio, Akromatics.
Green roses are red too. All the leaves have gone green, and the clouds are so low
open your arms, Bonnie Dee. When the sheep in the valley come home my way, till the stars fall around me and find me alone. When the sun goes away, I'll still be waiting. Roses are red. All the leaves have gone green, and the hills are ablaze with the moon's yellow haze. Come into my arms, Bonnie Dean. Into my arms, Bonnie Dean.
In 1950, from Lorain, Ohio, Hi-Chords.
Hooray! I'm in love again, not with Lana Turner, not with Betty Grable. It couldn't be Rose O'Grady, that sweet Irish Colleen. It couldn't be Greer Garson. I'll tell you who I mean. I mean, if you see eyes big and round, one is black and one is brown. Oh, yes, that's my Elsie Schulzenheim. She's gorgeous. If she's tripping down the street, and you notice two left feet. Oh, yes, that's my Elsie Schulzenheim. She works for a doctor, and she makes money quick. She stands right outside his door to make people sick. So sick. Pearly teeth are in her mouth. 1 point north and 1 point south. Oh, yes, that's my Elsie Schulzenheim. Du ich mir im Herzen. Ja, 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 ja. Her shape is a total loss. 10 pounds less than a brewery horse. Yes, that's my Elsie Schulzenheim. She's gorgeous. When she walks, she shakes like jelly. You should see her big fat face. Oh, yes, that's my Elsie Schulzenheim. She can sing soprano like Yritzo Ballou. All the melodies she croons when she gargles soup. I'm her little sweetheart Gus. She's my hippopotamus. Oh, yes, that's my Elsie Schulzenheim.
My name's Mark Blake. I am lead singer of Yesteryear. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be in this interview with the guys from Hot Air Buffoons, our 2005 JAD Quartet champions. And we're looking forward to getting to know them a little bit better. So we know, because we can go to Google, we know that you guys, that the quartet got together in 1996. Maybe Harry and Mark, can you tell me how did the quartet come together? What was going on?
Our original bass and I were in another quartet, and we wanted to get a comedy quartet going, and the only thing we had was a name. So
Penn Ohio Singers.
The Penn Ohio, that's what I meant. So he said, there are a couple guys that sing in my chorus that we could get together with a quartet. So I went to a rehearsal, and we found Mark and Denny, and the rest is history.
What are your individual favorites then, Beef?
If we only sang with Shane, if we only had a brain.
How about you, Mark?
I don't know. First Hello has to probably be my favorite, and it had a few different variations, going from we used to pop poppers at the end, to make like a little until we started getting flying gigs, and then I realized that that's gunpowder, and I was put on a do not fly list for 6 months.
Harry, what was your favorite song?
I actually am pretty proud of what we were able to do with Last Night Was the End of the World. It's the only song we never changed any words to. And the cool thing was, if you ever listen to a recording, even on any of our CDs, you could, if you just listen to the song and listen to the audience reaction, you would wonder why people were laughing. And I got such a kick out of that, because you would just hear laughter and we didn't change a single word.
What about yours, Will?
My favorite one that we've done, Shane was awesome. That's my favorite tag we've done. My favorite one that we've done is the religious medley.
We love to sing songs about heaven, heaven. But the judges would have us DQ'd, so we'll just sing some barbershop.
Yeah! That's barbershop right there.
It's the right thing to do. It is. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. It's good enough for me. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. It's good enough for me. On a Sunday morn sat a maid forlorn, with her sweetheart by her side. Through the window pane she looked at the rain. We must stay home, Joe, she cried. She cried. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. It's good enough for me. Heart of my heart, I love you. Love you. Life would be not without you. Oh, baby, light of my life, my darling, I love you. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. Give me that old time barbershop. It's good enough for me. For me. magpie. I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide.
There is a game that Catholics play, and bingo is its name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B-I. And bingo is its name. Oh, when it's darkness on the delta, when it's darkness on the delta, when it's in the shelter of the night, roll round heaven on night.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this first half of this Parade of Champions. We're going to take about a 5-minute intermission. There's going to be some fun stuff on your screen during that intermission, but you go do what you need to do, get some more popcorn, come back and get yourself back in that seat for our second half. We'll see you in 5 minutes.